fat boys here. And we don't mean the fucking rap group. They're dead because they were fat. So look forward to that death coming soon from us live on YouTube. Yeah. Might as well, right? It's not like anybody on YouTube's paying attention to us. We could literally be hanging from our necks, from our necks in our fucking closet, and nobody would care. But anyway, we're not, and it's the end of the year, and you know what that means. I get to pose my non-muscles for you. No, it means that we're going to recap our favorite things that we saw this year. Now, full disclosure, unlike your Chris Stuckmans or your other big reviewers, Angry Joe who sucks. Now, unlike those guys, we don't get to see every fucking single movie because we don't have money to see every single movie. We don't get passes to see every single movie. We get to see what we get to see. So full disclosure, not all the movies that we would have wanted to see were up for consideration. Yeah. But we did see plenty of them.
Also, unlike Nostalgia Critic, we don't suck.
Come on, man. At least we're not Nostalgia Critic. So, yeah, if one of your favorites didn't make it, we may have not seen it. I will say that I wanted to see Dr. Sleep and Parasite really badly, but I didn't get to see them. So, they're not even up for consideration. I don't know if you had any.
You could have just looked into my bowels and seen many a Parasite.
Yeah, that's a very intriguing show. But anyway, so these are just drawn from the ones we did see. Let's first of all, let's start off with a movie. Before we get to our top 5 for me and top 5 for you, let's start off with a movie that kind of surprised us. We expected it maybe to suck or that it wasn't going to be good or whatever. But it kind of took us by surprise. What's your movie that kind of surprised you a little bit?
We've mentioned it before. Our boy Tony G came through and gave us a good little Doom film. Mm-hmm. Now, it's not the best movie of all time, but given the limitations and given the fact that we're expecting another Doom 2005, it's actually a pretty fun little movie.
Yeah. You're talking about Doom Annihilation,
Yeah, Doom Annihilation. Tony G.
Now, this is not a popular opinion. We learned this really quick, especially in the video game community. People are like, oh, how dare you like the movie? Look, man, we understand the movie's not fucking top-notch awesomeness. Yeah. But we like the fact that he tried and he made something that was actually kind of entertaining if you like the games. You know, we just don't get fucked up about shit not being exactly what we want. Yeah. He did a good job. I agree. That's a good choice. It did surprise me too. But what really surprised me, my choice for the movie that surprised me, is the fact that, and you know I'm a renowned guy that doesn't give a shit about Star Wars. I kind of enjoyed Rise of the Skywalker.
Damn, dude. We're all about the popular opinions.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it, dude. Look, again, I've never thought a Star Wars movie was great, so to anybody's like, oh, it's not as good as it. I don't give a fuck. I don't think any of them are good. So fuck you. Except for Rogue One, pretty dope. But I really fucking enjoyed Rise of Skywalker, man. Yeah, I realized that it's not perfect. They were tidying up a lot of mess, but I think they made the best with what they could, with what they had, and delivered an actually entertaining movie. It was fun, dude. It was fun. Go figure.
You know what's funny about that? Now there's people crying that there wasn't enough Rose in it. With the hashtag Justice for Rose.
Look, man, Rose shouldn't have been a character, and that has nothing to do with the fact that she's Asian American. I feel really bad for the way unbathed Star Wars fans treated her. Like, fucking shit, are you serious? That's just a woman doing her job, man. The fuck does she have to do her pathetic fanboy dreams? Anyway, I feel very bad for her, but she was a useless character, and writing her out, I mean, she's in the movie. It's just she's just
17 seconds
background fodder. Not a bad choice because her character was ass.
I just like the idea that there was a loser out there literally count down the amount of seconds she was on
that's
screen,
loser, dude.
And then crying about it online.
Hey, she got a good paycheck for just 17 seconds of screen time. Fuck it, man. I hope her career picks up after fucking Star Wars fans prove how dirty they are. I'm sticking with the unbathed thing. But anyway, I enjoyed Rise of Skywalker. Go figure. I didn't expect that at all because you know I'm a shit on Star Wars just because I hate it. But anyway, so moving on from the movie that kind of surprises us, let's pick the movie that we had expectations for, and it just kind of left us high and dry. Like, our blah movie.
I think
what's yours?
The biggest blah movie, and literally the reason why I thought you created this category was the hit film Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yep.
That was a movie that we saw.
Yeah, man. That's actually my pick. Scary Movies to Tell in the Dark, produced by Del Toro, based on a well-loved book, directed by a cool motherfucker that gave us a fucking Troll Hunter and shit. And that was a fucking movie we saw. That's literally our reaction. There was nothing new. There was nothing fresh in it. It was just a thing that we saw. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad movie.
Nah.
It's literally a blah movie. And that was kind of sad and disappointing.
It's a movie that takes from a source material and is worse for it.
Yeah, it's so strange. Now, I considered putting this in the blah category, but it's not a blah movie, but it kind of had this effect on me. It Chapter 2. Now, don't get me wrong. I liked It Chapter 2. I just thought it was strange. For one, it's not as effective as It Chapter 1. And two, they made the confounding choice to be more loyal to the book in this one after the first one taking various departures from it.
It's pretty odd.
So it's kind of like a mix and match. Like, as a reader, I really enjoyed it. But as a viewer of the first movie, I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't amazing either. But I did like it, so I can't put it in the blah. But I kind of considered it for a second, so worth mentioning. So now, superhero movies are all the fucking hubbub, or I should say comic book movies. Everybody's fucking sucking on that pipe and trying to get in the comic book movie or show game. Yeah. God knows Marvel's gonna shit out 1,000 more comic book related movies and shows, and it's like, dude, stop. We love them, but for crap's sake, there's too many now.
Slow down a little.
Slow down. You're gonna fucking ruin it before But whatever, we're getting them, so fuck it. So we love them, but they can't all be perfect, right? So let's talk about the best comic book based movie. I think this is going to be the same answer that you have. Mine's Joker.
Coringa.
Yeah, Joker, dude.
Yeah.
A.K.A. Coringa in South American countries, apparently. Easily the best comic book movie possibly ever.
Yeah, possibly.
Awesome. Just a tour de force as a movie. If you're a lover of cinema, you get a lot of nods to Scorsese in there. Ironic, given what happened with Scorsese scandal. Guess what? Joker is just Scorsese movies. 2 of them, only with a little Coringa slapped all over it. You know what I'm saying? Love the fuck out of that movie. Amazing. And I think just about everybody did. I mean, we really shouldn't even go on. It's a given.
Interestingly, apparently, I learned this recently. Apparently, one of the director's original pitches was 3 different movies that were all going to be character studies.
Oh yeah,
on either DC characters or Batman characters. I don't remember. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would have been an interesting thing if it happened.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll see. We'll see what the future brings for old Jokey. The Jokey, not the Joker. That's just a different one.
Hashtag Coringa.
So anyway, that's the best, but there's got to be a worst. What's the worst superhero related or comic book related movie you saw this year? And there were quite a few this year. Give me yours.
Mine's kind of a tie.
All right.
It's either SpiderMan, Far From Home, or Hellboy.
All right.
Now, I didn't hate Hellboy.
Right.
But I was kind of like if there was a blah category for superhero movies, it probably would have fit in there more than worst. It did have a badass hag, so I can't hate.
Bag,
it was a good hag, so I can't hate.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it didn't really tickle my pickle. On the other side, Spider-Man: Far From Home, this was kind of like I was wanting to give the Spider-Man franchise another shot, and I was kind of like, nah, it's just justified my blondness to the franchise. So yeah,
okay.
Kind of a tie.
Interestingly enough, Hellboy I considered for the movie that surprised me, but I think a bigger surprise is Star Wars because I have so much disdain for Star Wars. But I would have if I hadn't seen Star Wars, I would have put Hellboy because I really actually liked it. A lot of the criticisms people lobbed at it, I didn't share. Go figure. But Spider-Man Far From Home was fucking asses, dude. It was too much of a shitty movie to forgive the good stuff. And there was good stuff. It's just like, wow, fuck. Especially after Endgame, that's what you give us? Damn, man. And I realized you can't... Yeah, I didn't want another serious movie. Don't get me wrong. It was just... This thing was a ham. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not a rum ham.
Nah.
Just fucking hammy
straight,
shit.
like, freaking ham todo la mozo and shit.
Yeah, dude. It wasn't good. Thankfully, the characters that matter are preserved. So you could still want to see them in another movie. But the movie itself... Stanky! Man, I wanted to shoot it. I wanted to give it a physical body and shoot it. Anyway, it's time, guys. It's time for the top 5. You're gonna give me your top.
You didn't say the worst.
Oh yeah. What do you mean the worst? That was the worst.
Oh, the worst hit film in general.
Oh, in general. Well, okay. Give me yours.
Well, mine's dependent on yours.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, fine. Here's the thing. Though, before we get to our top 5 best films, we gotta mention the worst film. All right. And look. There was 2 up for consideration, and we made a compromise. You're going to pick one, and I'm going to pick the other, because both of them
deserve to be there.
Yeah, deserve to be there. And I realized that there were worse films this year. We didn't see them, probably because we didn't want to see them. So this is just the ones that we saw. One of them that I didn't have any anticipation for this. It's a Fred Durst-directed movie starring John Travolta, one of the biggest actors with the worst track record in film history.
You know, sometimes you gotta just pick some low-hanging fruit, and this was our low-hanging fruit of the year.
And don't get me wrong, I went in there with an open mind. I've been surprised before. It could have been good. I think Travolta tried, and I can't hate Travolta in it. He tried, but goddamn, was that a silly character. The movie fucking sucks. I couldn't believe some of the stuff they put in there, especially that fucking Limp Bizkit line. Like, what the hell? And it's so awful, but it's kind of fascinatingly awful. Like, I enjoyed watching it in its awfulness.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it there because we had to mention it. But this other one that you're going to mention, I also have to agree with. Give it to me.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. With The Fanatic, you could watch it again and be like, this is a movie!
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to, but you could.
Mm-hmm.
With Fighting With My Family, you just want to die the whole time.
Yeah.
Now, this has made it into people's favorite of the year.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why. This is crap.
Yeah. The only saving grace in Fighting With My Family, in my opinion, are the actors.
Yeah.
Which are really good.
It's a good cast, but the story is super uninteresting, at least the way it's presented.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate because this could have been a really interesting story.
Yeah.
I hear the documentary it's based on is quite good. I just never saw it. Or the book too, right? There's also a book. Whatever. The source material is interesting, but the movie itself is freaking hella boring.
Yeah, it's just the definition of blandness. The movie. There's no visual oomph, and don't get me wrong. In a biopic, you don't need that. But honestly, in this movie, would have fucking helped because it's just bland. It's just a fucking milquetoast fucking movie, you know, and. Being wrestling fans, we understand how fascinating wrestling culture and wrestling stories are.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, that's more fascinating than the wrestling. And the story of Paige is pretty fucking interesting, dude. I mean, she was your favorite female wrestler. I don't know if she still is. She doesn't wrestle anymore, but at one point she was. And she's awesome. She changed the industry. And that story is awesome, but they presented it the flattest way possible. Yeah. And they changed so many things, and that's fine in the movie. But when you're talking about a movie about a business that fakes things, not the action but the storylines, you're like, why didn't you just tackle it the way you know you should have? It was just like a wreck. As a wrestling fan, I don't get how another wrestling fan could like this movie.
It's like impressively clean. They don't show any real drama.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's just kind of boring. Again, the actors are good, but that's it.
Yeah, that's all I could say about the movie. That it has some really good actors, barring The Rock, which apparently is responsible for all things
ever
in that universe. But and I love The Rock, but fuck's sake, dude, did you really need to be all up in this bitch? But yeah, dude, that's all I can say. The actors were really good. Florence Pugh was really good, etc. But the movie stunk. So now we get down to the nitty gritty. Top 5. Your favorite, my favorite. Let's count them down. My number 5 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Reason being, this is Tarantino's love letter to not only the business that he loves, cinema, but to the fans that support him. And at the same time, it manages to be a big fuck you to anybody that misuses or misrepresents or misunderstands cinema. I love it. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Definitely not for everyone. In fact, that's kind of a big part of why I love it. He made this such an exclusive movie that, honestly, if some people say they like it and they're not chiming with what the fuck, they're probably lying, because at this point, you kind of have to like Tarantino. You sound like an idiot. But I think for the people that legitimately love it for the reasons he put out there, it's a fucking treat, and I loved it. It's gonna be my number 5. What's yours?
Now, I assumed that you were gonna pick up the slack for at least one of the movies that I wanted to put in there, so I excluded it.
All right, it's a gamble you took, but
so instead I put in a movie that's also surprised me. Shazam,
if you will.
I was expecting to like it, but I wasn't expecting it to be such like a nice movie. You know?
Yeah, like a family affair.
Yeah, like you could pop this bad puppy in and watch with your moms. And you're kind of like, hell yeah, this is a good little film.
It's not awkward like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You feel all fucking like weird.
That was the thing that happened to us.
Anyway, yeah, Shazam.
Yeah, so yeah, man, like I like, what's his name?
I don't know. He's your boy.
Oh, I
Zachary
forgot his name.
Levi.
Zachary Levi. Yeah, I knew I had Zachary, but I was gonna say Quinto instead. So
wrong Zachary.
I like Spock. I like Zachary Levi, and you know he's really charming in the role. And the movie itself is just like a fun little thing.
It was surprising because look, Captain Marvel, as he's really called, Shazam, is kind of one of those characters that either sucks, is forgotten about, or is generally like disregarded. Period.
Yeah.
And you know, he's easy to poke fun at because he's kind of cheesy, but they managed to balance all those elements and make cheesiness work in their favor. This lovable aw shucks kind of mentality work.
Yeah.
And after the disaster, in my opinion, that was Aquaman, this it kind of surprised me too. So good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
There's also a little worm in there. Can't go wrong with worms.
Can't go wrong with little evil worms.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's your number 5. My number 4, let's count it down, is a movie that I didn't expect to like that much, and I felt very validated. I expected to like it, but I felt very validated when Tarantino himself was like, yo, this movie's good, and everybody got mad at him for daring. But it's Crawl, which is possibly the movie I saw the most this year. Like, I fucking watched the shit out of this movie.
You're like a freaking hardcore alligatorite now.
Yeah, and that was a renowned alligator movie hater.
Alligator
hater. But, yeah, dude, Crawl is just a fun fucking movie. It's from a director that I like. I'm glad to see that I had so much fun with it. It's a simple movie, and those simple thematics really help with the idea of a fucking alligator and a nature movie. It's direct, it's to the point, and it's fun, and kind of heartfelt in the end. And I really like the visuals of it all as a whole. I had a real blast with Crawl.
As an alligator, I'm biting my tongue.
Your number 4 is?
My number 4 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, as you mentioned.
Okay, yeah.
It's a good little movie for all the reasons you gave. I especially like the fact that it's a unique movie. It's not really paced like any other movie.
It's unique even among Tarantino's movies.
Yeah, it really is.
Which is like, wow.
It's a strange movie, and for a while you'll be like, where's this going? But I do think it comes together well at the end, and you know, it has a cool-ass dog attack scene, so that's always rad. Yeah, it was a strange film that I enjoyed thoroughly.
All right, man. So let's move on to our number 3. My number 3 spot is, again, a movie that stirred some controversy because it came from somebody that, you know, people love to love and love to hate. And that was Us, Jordan Peele's follow-up to Get Out. Not related, but, you know, his sophomore film. And yeah, look, I get why people might have lashed back against this, even people that like Get Out. It's a little bit more obtuse. There's a lot more there's a lot less said, and a lot more you have to figure out with the story.
Yeah.
And how it makes sense. And it does, believe me. No matter how many fucking people, it doesn't make sense. It does. You just gotta sit there and mull on it. But I like that. And I think there was just the way this idea, because Peele is about ideas beyond just the superficiality of the movies. The way he presents his ideas in this visual way, is just so good. In a lot of ways, us up the ante in that visual representation of something. And he broadened his themes, proved that he didn't have to restrict themes to just the black community, which I know, God forbid, black people have movies, guys. But I know people fucking got up in arms about that. Well, he broadened the themes to, you know, to a world scale or a national scale with these metaphors, and I like that. And just as a horror movie, it works really great with some really great characters. Us. Give me your number trays.
My number 3 was something else, but then I remembered this movie existed. So I'm just going to mention what the other one was, because I do think it deserves to be mentioned.
All right.
That's Ready or Not.
All right, yeah.
But then it got thrown out the window and replaced with Woody's final ride in Toy Story 4.
All right.
I'm a Toy Storite, I've mentioned before. And this was like... This made... Like, though I love Part 3, this made Part 3 better somehow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it really does feel like, as a series, it really feels like a life cycle. You know what I mean? Like, the first ones are very kid-friendly, and then they grow up with the viewer.
It definitely closed that story for Woody.
Yeah.
Which, let's face it, this was kind of his show here.
Yeah. And just seeing Woody go from like this freaking selfish piece of shit in the first movie to like this, you know, full-grown character that is now
beloved.
Yeah, and going away from his boys was touching, dude.
Yeah.
Almost made me a little tear up a little.
Yeah, a pretty damn good movie. So that's your number 3. Let's go on to the number dose. And this was a movie that I had a lot of expectation for. And it's from the man that brought us The Witch, which was one of my favorite movies of the last handful of decades. Not just in the genre, but overall. So I was very much expecting a lot from him. And I rarely go into a movie with expectations that may ruin things. You know, I don't do that anymore. But this one, I was afraid that my expectations were going to ruin it. And it's The Lighthouse, man. Willem Dafoe, Robert Pattinson, alone in a fucking lighthouse, being fucking weird as shit. This is a film that is so much on so many levels that it's impossible to just paraphrase it right now. Suffice it to say, it's a thing you have to watch if you're interested in cinema, period. It's fucking amazing. Visually, narratively, metaphorically, fucking mythologically, shit. It's a lot of shit thrown in there, and it's all interesting and riveting and gross and strange, and it's a thing. It's an experience. I loved it. Your number 2.
That was the movie that I mentioned that I assumed you would pick up the slack. Now, here's a movie that I never expected to be in my top anything list.
Much less your 2 spot?
As a hardcore alligator.
Yeah!
I gave you shit for sucking this movie off. But I gotta say, Crawl's pretty fun, dude.
Yeah, man.
Made me crawl on the ground, slither a little.
Yeah, that was gross, dude. You're naked and shit.
Super nude and scaly.
That was just from not washing.
Oh, yeah, dude. I got hardcore mugre scales going on. Anyway, it's a fun movie. It's super simple, you know. Some may say stupid. To those people, I would say I kind of agree, but at the same time, don't.
Or you would say, no, you.
Yeah, exactly. The best comeback.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's a fun movie, surprising movie.
I'm surprised, dude. You are a renowned alligator.
Dude, I'm not even joking. I don't think I've ever liked an alligator film.
Never.
I'm trying to think of one, but no, there's zero alligator film. Now, I am an alligator fan, as in like the creature.
Yeah, of course.
It's just they've always been done dirty in the hit films. Finally, the alligators got a movie that they can be like, hell yeah, that's my boy up there, dude. I just imagine a bunch of alligators like eating popcorn at the movies and be like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Or buckets of flesh.
They're going like this, and then the alligator next to him bites the arm off. Anyway.
He's like, oh, my arm.
Surprisingly fun movie. Quentin liked it, so if you disagree, go eat one.
and go suck a pipe.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, when Quentin released that, or revealed, it was revealed that Quentin had it in his top 3, I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck you, alligators. But anyway, okay, it's down to the big one, dude. Number 1 favorite film of the year. This is another one that I had great expectations for, and I was fucking afraid because I went into that zone again that oh fuck, my expectations are actually gonna alter my perception of this film. And it's a film that, once again, like The Lighthouse, my number 2, it's not for everyone, but if it's for you, you're gonna fucking dig. And it's Midsummer, which of course was a sophomore effort from the man Ari Aster that brought us the mind-bogglingly good Hereditary. He had a lot to live up to, and I think he not only lived up to it, but, you know, just like The Lighthouse created something that's The Lighthouse for the Witch created something that's a partner to its predecessor, that they can live in the same space as it. And it's just such a unique film, Midsummer. It's not anything that's normal. And I think really what's the best about Ari Aster's films as a whole, including Midsummer, is how he handles the ideas of grief and loss and the ultimate effects they have on the bigger picture. I think he's so fucking good at that. That, you know, this year also saw the release of Pet Sematary, and I liked it a lot. But I was like, damn, I wish Ari Aster would tackle that movie, because damn, he gets grief, and he gets how that fits into this bigger picture. And Midsummer not only has all this weird, crazy shit that you wouldn't see in other movies and haven't for years, but it handles humanity so well and understands humans so well and their tendencies and how we could go on various paths because of just a little thing that's not right. I love this movie. On top of that, yeah, it's bonkers as fuck. So unique, over the top, weird, crazy, and yet so human. Gotta pick Midsummer as my number 1. What's your number 1, man? This is the big one. Give it to me.
I had to double dip the chip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be a basic bitch. Also, hashtag basic bitch.
You're gonna do this.
I'm gonna do
Duracell hair.
Yes. I got to double dip, dude. I got to give my boy Quack some credit and say Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, as a boy who struggled with some mental issues in his life, it was kind of cool to see it being like tackled in a way that is realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm not Coringa, thus not cool. But, well, actually, the Coringa isn't even cool. He's just a tragic dude. Anyway, good movie, tragic film. Unfortunate that it's not part of the DCEU.
Yeah.
Because that would have been a very interesting path to take. That being said, it's a movie that you wouldn't expect WB of all people to be like, yeah, make this. And by all accounts, they didn't. They were fighting back on it. But I'm glad it got made. I'm glad it made a shit ton. Hopefully it will make them listen to their freaking directors for once.
Yeah.
And we get some more good movies.
So
Hawk's performance, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's epic. So would you say Hawk's performance, the Walk-inster, jokey, if you will,
Yeah.
would you say that's your favorite actor of the year? Actor or actress, if it's somebody else?
Damn. Probably. It's the Hawk, dude.
Yeah, he did.
Like, I'm a Hawkeye. You know, the second he started playing, the second he was Cash, though really he's a terrible Cash. He looks nothing like him, sounds nothing like him, and yet he was good. You know, that's like the makings of a good actor. You're like, hell yeah, it looks nothing like him, sounds nothing like him, and yet this movie kicks ass. The second he played Cash, I was a Hawkite, and this was just like, damn, homie kicks ass.
You were a Hawker. Do you have a worst actor or actress of the year that you can think of?
Yeah.
Do tell.
And John Travolta.
Damn, dude, John.
Though he tried, it actually kind of just makes it sadder. Because you're like, dude, he was trying with this. Why?
He was so bad.
In The Fanatic, in case.
I'm going to have to agree. John Travolta definitely gets my worst actor. Because, yes, it's admirable that he tried, but the character is so god-awful. So pathetic, and not in a sympathetic way as he should have been. No. Or in a scary way. Like, Robin Williams handled that role, basically, in 1 Hour Photo exceptionally. And Travolta just fucking feast on it.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny that my favorite actor was, someone basically portraying someone with mental issues, and the worst one is someone basically portraying someone with mental issues. Yeah, because
it's so fucking...
It did everything.
lame.
Like, the Joker understands how people freaking react in that situation.
Yeah.
Makes it realistic. And Travolta was just like a freaking shit show.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong,
make him a walking retard.
People
basically
behave like Travolta does. It's just they didn't get the foundation of why, right? It just sucked. So yeah, that'd have to be my worst. If I have to pick a best one, ironically, it's Florence Pugh, who is in Midsummer, who I thought laid out such a understated and sly performance, given her character arc in it. And and I've been seeing a lot of her movies recently. She's just all across the board good. And I say ironically though because the movie that I hated the most this year was Fighting With My Family, and she starred in it.
Yeah.
But she was really good in that too. But that would be my pick. And yes, The Hawk would be my alternative, if you will. But anyway, that's our thoughts for the year in movies. If you noticed, we put it on our main channel because we felt this is where it belonged. Our movie channel is just reviews. So there it is. Let us know what your picks are in the comments down below. Hit like, share, subscribe, and notification buttons because we're out.
Cats?
Oh, Cats. We didn't get to see it. Man, we're going to hate it and or love it.
Yeah, dude, I predict that you're going to be crying.
I definitely going to love the Taylor Swift cat. Definitely going to jerk to that. But other than that, I don't see myself. I can't cry to Cats, dude. If I cry to Cats, I'm going to shoot myself. That's it. Anyway, we're out, guys. Bye.